Life isn't as serious as the mind makes it out to be. The greatest thing you can give yourself is freedom from what others think. Tomorrow is only found in the calendar of fools. Making others look bad doesn't make you look better. Without effort and willingness to experience pain and anxiety, nobody grows. In fact, nobody achieves anything worth achieving. You must not allow it to overstay. You don't like everybody, so don't worry about everybody liking you. Don't react in anger immediately. Wait for it to subside. Divide each difficulty into as many parts as is feasible and necessary to resolve it. It is only for those without hope that hope is given. The mind is not a vessel to be filled, but a fire to be kindled. Opportunities can become obstacles the same way obstacles can become opportunities. It all depends on how they are being interpreted by the mind of a person. Things won't happen in a certain way just because you want them to happen that way. Don't expect experience, experience life. Do not carry expectations on how it should be. Dare to live the life you have dreamed for yourself. Go forward and make your dreams come true. Action may not always bring happiness, but there is no happiness without action. That it will never come again is what makes life so sweet. We cannot simply sit and stare at our wounds forever. We must stand up and move on to the next action. Hope itself is like a star not to be seen in the sunshine of prosperity and only to be discovered in the night of adversity. At some point you have to divorce yourself from doing the things that other people want from you. The trouble is, if you don't risk anything, you risk more. No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river and he's not the same man. Waiting for other people will cause you to miss out on some wonderful things in life. If a goal is worth having, it's worth blocking out the time in your day-to-day life necessary to achieve it. Storms hit your weakness, but unlock your true strength. There's no shame in saying I don't know. Nobody has all the answers. Pretending to be perfect doesn't make you perfect. Although the world is full of suffering, it is full also of the overcoming of it. Waiting is painful, forgetting is painful, but not knowing which to do is the worst kind of suffering. There's only one thing more precious than our time, and that's who we spend it on. You have a broader view with less emotional confusion. Following a path is easy. Creating a new one can be painful, but it will lead you to new places. You'll have bad times, but it'll always wake you up to the good stuff you weren't paying attention to. Nothing makes a man so adventurous as an empty pocket. We cry over people, but what about time? Time is also never going to come back. Time is everything, and one day it will define you. A woman's guess is much more accurate than a man's certainty. The most important thing is to look ahead. The past is your anchor. Life just gets so much better when you stop taking things personally. Start prioritizing your mental health instead of adjusting to toxic spaces. The more kind a person is, the less he notices the bad in people. When you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person who walked in. Stop trying to be happy. You can't be happy all the time, and it's okay. Begin, be bold, and venture to be wise. In every success story, you will find someone who has made a courageous decision. Motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. In the end, everything will be okay. If it's not okay, it's not yet the end. I would rather be a swineherd understood by the swine than a poet misunderstood by men. Don't be pushed around by the fears in your mind. Be led by the dreams in your heart. Someday isn't even a real day, although for some people it's every day. Here for a good time, not a long time. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. You just can't beat the person who never gives up. To live life you need problems. If you get what you want the minute you want it, then what's the point of living? It always seems impossible until it's done. The things you do for yourself are gone when you are gone, but the things you do for others remain as your legacy. Try to get what you love, otherwise you'll have to love what you got. Every journey begins with the first step. The trouble is if you don't risk anything, you risk more. The point of the argument is not to defeat each other, but to understand each other. It is not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change. Just because you hate this chapter doesn't mean you'll hate the book. Whatever the present moment contains, accept it as if you had chosen it. Success comes from action. You can make all the mistakes you want, just don't make the same one twice. Don't make one person the center of all your happiness. Don't make them the reason why you are happy, because once that person walks away from your life, you're left with nothing. A donkey loaded with gold will open the gates of any fortress. A man can be himself only so long as he is alone, and if he does not love solitude, he will not love freedom, for it is only when he is alone that he is really free. When we take responsibility, we get out of the victim mode and move on. Look in the mirror, that's your competition. Be the energy you want to attract. Making mistakes is better than faking perfections. Successful people do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do. Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. You have to live the life you want to live. Manage your mood, because if it does not obey, then it commands. You will meet people who you just can't get along with, no matter how correct you come. Make it your friend and ally, not your enemy. Don't let anyone ever make you feel like you don't deserve what you want. Never hurt others to heal yourself. Never hurt yourself to heal others. People don't resist change, they resist being changed. Self-pity is dangerous. Stay away from it. Work hard in silence. Let success be your nose. Every failure is a lesson. If you're not willing to fail, you are not ready to succeed. A wise man will make more opportunities than he finds. Youth is happy because it has the capacity to see beauty. Anyone who keeps the ability to see beauty never grows old. Recognizing that you are not where you want to be is a starting point to begin changing your life. You stop explaining yourself and you realize people only understand from their level of perception. No expectations, no disappointments. The life flies and the truth limps after it. Never give up on something you really want. It's difficult to wait, but it's more difficult to regret. Boast speeches are the first sign of weakness, and those who are capable of great things keep their mouths shut. I survived because the fire inside me burned brighter than the fire around me. If it can be fixed, why are you complaining? Problems are the price you pay for progress. Almost every successful person begins with the beliefs, the future can be better than the present, and I have the power to make it so. When you accept yourself, the whole world accepts you. The real test is not whether you avoid this failure, because you won't. It's whether you let it harden or shame you into inaction, or whether you learn from it, whether you choose to persevere. Always work with it, not against it. The world owes you nothing. Tits to Big N has too much going on to care about you. Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. Honesty without kindness is brutality. Kindness without honesty is manipulation. Old ways won't open new doors. Every adversity, every failure, and every heartache carries with it the seed of an equivalent or greater benefit. The more you let go, the higher you rise. Success is not the title you have or how much money you make. If your relationships with friends and family are healthy and thriving, that is a success. Stop letting other people take advantage of you. Learn to say no and understand your rights. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood. When it seems all is lost, you find what you really need. If you hate starting over, stop quitting. Being defeated is often a temporary condition. Giving up is what makes it permanent. A successful man is one who can lay a firm foundation with the bricks others have thrown at him. You have to accept whatever comes, and the only important thing is that you meet it with the best you have to give. Life is about balance. Be kind, but don't let people abuse you. Trust, but don't be deceived. Be content, but never stop improving yourself. Writing down is the best way to remember. Pause this video and comment below your favorite quotes. Don't wish for it, work for it. Be kind and generous without expecting anything in return. The harder your past was, the more beautiful your future will be. If you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan, and what they have planned for you is not much. There are more things likely to frighten us than to crush us. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. A man must suffer if he is to remake himself, for he is both the marble and the sculptor. Although the world is full of suffering, it is full also of the overcoming of it. A man is but the product of his thoughts. What he thinks, he becomes. If you can find paths without any obstacles, it probably leads nowhere. No excuses, because excuses don't solve your problems. The trouble is if you don't spend your life yourself, other people spend it for you. Step out of the history that is holding you back. Step into the new story you are willing to create. The person with big dreams is more powerful than the one with all the facts. Courage is like a muscle, we strengthen it by use. From the point of view of youth, life is an endless future. From the point of view of old age, it is a very short past. To realize that you are not your thoughts is when you begin to awaken spiritually. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around, you could miss it. You can waste your lives drawing lines, or you can live your life crossing them. They've promised that dreams can come true, but forgot to mention that nightmares are dreams too. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. The bad news is time flies. The good news is you're the pilot. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. Things change with time, and it will pass. Think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life. Now take what's left and live it properly. At the end of the game, the king and the pawn go back to the same box. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. Just because the boat rocks doesn't mean it's time to jump overboard. Stand up to your obstacles and do something about them. Try not to become a man of success, but rather become a man of value. You will never know your potential if you are afraid to be alone. In the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. The days are long, the years are short. Heard this after I had my first kid. Couldn't be more true. Learn how to change a flat tire on your vehicle. Be not afraid of moving slowly, be only afraid of standing still. Just because you got away with a bad decision doesn't make it a good decision. Once we accept our limits, we go beyond them. Clocks show time, and time shows people. No regrets, just do better next time. Not all storms come to disrupt your life, some come to clear your path. You spend all your health initially for wealth, and then you spend all your wealth for one day of good health. Try to get what you love, otherwise you'll have to love what you got. More important than the ability to pick the right one is the strength to walk away from the wrong one. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. In any given moment, we have two options: to step forward into growth or step back into safety. When you are content to be simply yourself and don't compare or compete, everyone will respect you. If you want to be happy, set a goal that commands your thoughts, liberates your energy, and inspires your hopes. You only pass through this life once. You don't come back for an encore. They always say time changes things, but you actually have to change them yourself. Smile. Today is the tomorrow you worried about yesterday. On the other side of a storm is the strength that comes from having navigated through it. To be happy is to be able to become aware of oneself without fright. If the path is beautiful, let us not ask where it leads. You only pass through this life once. You don't come back for an encore. If you love something so much, let it go. If it comes back, it was meant to be. If it doesn't, it never was. Experience, don't expect, experience life. Do not carry expectations on how it should be. If you haven't the strength to impose your own terms upon life, then you must accept the terms it offers you. People only want to hear the good, not the bad, so if you have issues, it'll be hard to find people to confide in. You can waste your lives drawing lines, or you can live your life crossing them. Be afraid, but do it anyway. A stumble may prevent a fall. You must be big enough to admit your mistakes, smart enough to learn from them, and strong enough to correct them. Stop wishing, start doing. Get busy living or get busy dying. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own. Maybe the path that scares you the most is the one you need to take. Believe you can and you're halfway there. Obstacles aren't roadblocks, they're road signs. Either change yourself or change your environment or both. The real man smiles, and trouble gathers strength from distress and grows brave by reflection. Experience is not what happens to you, it's what you do with what happens to you. It took a long time, but I have learned that you just can't take anything you want out of life without putting something back in exchange. Nothing can be done without hope and confidence. Don't be afraid to do things by yourself. Where there is ruin, there is hope for a treasure. If you get tired, learn to rest, not to quit. The past is in your head, the future is in your hands. Stop doubting yourself, work hard, and make it happen. Believe half of what you see and don't believe anything you hear. Any thought you have about the future is a delusion. Life is just a race against time, so have a good time. You can do so much for someone and still not be treated well. See people for who they are, not who you need them to be. The past is a place of reference, not a place of residence. The past is a place of learning, not a place of living. You can't turn back the clock, but you can wind it up again. Allow yourself to be a beginner. No one starts off being excellent. People don't forget, nothing gets forgiven. Be yourself, everyone else is already taken. Just because you got away with a bad decision, it doesn't make it a good decision. Your only limit is you. The happiest people don't have the best of everything. They just make the best of everything they have. No matter how many people you surround yourself with, you will always be alone. You train people how to treat you, unconsciously or not. We take greater pains to persuade others that we are happy than in endeavoring to think so ourselves. It's up to you to pick yourself up and carry on. You should be careful not to form a very favorable opinion about a person at first acquaintance. Otherwise, in most cases, you will have to be disappointed. You can't change others. Don't hold your breath on people doing the right or ethical thing. It takes a long time to realize how truly miserable you are, and even longer to realize it doesn't have to be that way. The past is your anchor. Sometimes you find yourself in the middle of chaos, and sometimes in the middle of chaos you find yourself. Spend time with the elderly. Their wisdom and experiences are invaluable. If someone's words do not match their actions, get away from them. Depression is like a woman in black. If she turns up, don't shoo her away. Invite her in, offer her a seat, treat her like a guest, and listen to what she wants to say. We should try to be the parents of our future rather than the offspring of our past. You'll never find a rainbow if you're looking down. You can't live your life for other people. You've got to do what's right for you, even if it hurts some people you love. You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. The only way to keep your health is to eat what you don't want, drink what you don't like, and do what you'd rather not. Don't carry your mistakes around with you. Instead, place them under your feet and use them as stepping stones to rise above them. Opportunities don't happen. You create them. Don't try to fit in where you're not wanted. A liar's punishment is not in the least that he is not believed, but that he cannot believe anyone else. If you love something, let it free. If it comes back, then it's yours and meant to be, and if not, then move on. The only person who's ever going to remember your hard work is you, not this company, not your boss, only you. If you're going to apologize, don't say but after. Either you mean it or you don't.